Ninth grade, make some noise! Take a look around. This is our ninth grade class gathered together for is this the second time? I remember the stadium at the beginning of the year. I was about to say first time, but take a look around. Take a deep breath. Let it out. Today we are celebrating poetry. Raise your hand if you love poetry. Okay. Yup. Everyone over here better be raising their hands because these are the poets. Let's just give it up for all the poets and the courage that it takes to share a poem. Yes. Before we get into the poetry, we have some announcements. Everyone should have a tag of a room number. So make sure you have a tag. If you do not, raise your hand and we will come deliver one to you. This is important for the second half of the day. So raise your hand if you do not have a tag. Yeah, put on the tags. Put it on your left shoulder or right. All right. So there's a lot that goes into making this poetry slam happen. And oh wait, here's something I'm gonna do to get everyone's attention. My students will know this. When I say, can I kick it? You say, yes you can. Can I kick it? Yes, can I kick it? Yes, okay. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling good energy. Thank you. Alright, so there's a lot that goes into making this poetry slam happen. We got the poets, the judges, all you students and teachers. So snap it up, everyone, for coming. We want to thank Zena for the use of this theater today. It's our first slam ever in this space. Give it up for that. Woo! So this is a live poetry competition. Our poets, aka our slammers, they have 3 minutes each to perform an original poem. The students are like the winners from their respective classes, so they've already proved themselves, you know what I'm saying? So before they come up, let's all take a moment to put our phones on silent or airplane mode so, you know, it's not all distracting. So take a moment to do that. But if you do want to use your phone to snap a picture, then you can post it up on any sort of social media. You can use hashtag MHS Poetry Slam or hashtag Verslandia and tag nsullivan.mhs, our lovely librarian. Let's give it up for Nancy. Yeah. Miss Sullivan, I should say. I'm like, oh, using your first name up here. My bad. So, one of the main things we say in slam poetry is like this is a judge competition, but the point is not the points. The point is the poetry. So I'm going to say the point's not the points, the point is, and you're all going to say the poetry. Okay, ready? The point is not the points, the point is the poetry. Yes, we're in this together. The only people that you can boo in this situation are sitting here in the front row, and they're the judges. So, if you don't like one of their scores, you can be like, boo. So I'm gonna introduce the judges just so you know who you're booing. We have Miss Santiago, Vice Principal of all. Yes, give it up. We're cheering the judges at this moment. Santiago is biased towards ninth graders, mother of 2 monsters, lover of paddleboarding, and her dog Lita. Hey, that's what's up. Snap it up for Santiago. All right, next up. Wait, did you want me to read who's first? Okay, yeah. On the end here, we have Maurice. Give it up for Maurice. Maurice Luis is a teacher, a poet, a hip-hop enthusiast. He also loves baking, singing, and sports. Basically, he's a modern Renaissance man and hero. Additionally, he needs a braider, so if you know anyone, look him up. Yes. We have Darshan Preet, Miss Gill in the place to be. Give it up. Science teacher. Spectacular baker, way better than Maurice. Wow. The mother of two cats, Mr. and Leo. She's also Ravenclaw. Any other Ravenclaws out there? Okay, I see 3. And a brown bear Patronus. I know no one has a brown bear Patronus, so I won't even ask. Next up, we got Malik. Give it up for Malik. Step up advocate, hip hop artist, all around goofball. I think he's working on an album, but not sure if that'll ever really come out. Wow. But raise your hand if you've listened to that, though. Okay, yeah, you gotta release that. You gotta.
Why did you just say?
Next up, we got Keith Lampton. Give it up for Keith. Yes. Manager at Youth Progress, coach basketball here from 95 to 2012. Heck yeah. 4 kids, loves sports, writing, and music, loves this event. Best accomplishment, fatherhood. Give it up to Keith. Yes, glad you're here. Last but not least, we have Aaron Goodling. Give it up for Aaron. Yeah. Aaron, former student teacher here at Madison/McDaniel, you know, started the Poetry Slam 17 years ago. Yeah, mother to Kai. Yes, glad y'all are here. So those are our judges. We all cheered them up. We built up their ego. Now we got to take it down and boom if you don't like a score. But if you do like a score, you can cheer. But who we are cheering is all the poets. So let's give it up for all these poets over here. So when the poets do their thing, you got to give them so much love and so much applause and so much appreciation. We're going to start out with what is called a sacrificial poet. And what a sacrificial poet does is they will come up, and they're not like officially in the Poetry Slam, but it's going to set the vibe and the tone, and the judges are going to judge them to start to, get the momentum. That's the word I'm looking for. And so we have a brave soul to go first, and I need everyone to give it up for Mean. Come on up to the stage.
There. My poem is titled Dog Eater. This goes out to all the people who are whitewashed, Asian, or adopted. I remember the first time I realized I really had to be careful. There was a time where I wasn't scared. I don't want to tell you it gets better, because it doesn't. I don't want to tell you you're safe, because there's no guarantee. They say panda, dog eater, or Karate Kid, but the character Karate Kid is Italian American. So how does that make sense? I'd love to be a panda. They're cute and fluffy. I'm cute, but I'm not fluffy, unfortunately. I come from East Asia, but that doesn't mean I'm a disease. When will people begin to understand that we are not aliens or freaks? When will we understand that people who are Asian don't look weird? We may look different than you, but that doesn't make us weird. I wish I had told you that eye-pulling is not okay, and doing that is incredibly distasteful. Doing the fox eye trend isn't funny or cute. Calling me weird or ugly for having small slanted eyes and then trying to change yourself to look more like me, now how does that make sense? If you can't get along with how you look, that's your problem. If you want to look more like me, then aren't you just making yourself look more ugly? I'm from China, but my home is here. I'm from China, but I'm still beautiful. I'm from China, but that does not make me a dog eater. Here's to ignorant people. They look and sound so stupid. It's funny. I would like you to know that my English is good, because I've spoken English my whole life. My English is very good, and that shouldn't surprise you. I'm a strong, independent, and smart person. I am adopted. Being adopted by a white family doesn't make me lucky. Being adopted by a white family who has a good reputation doesn't make me lucky. I am thankful, but I don't have to be thankful. How many times do I have to tell you that blood isn't family and family isn't blood? Friends are your chosen family. My family is not just my chosen family, but they are my family. At least I know my parents wanted me.
Up for me. Setting the tone. It takes a lot of courage to get up and go first. Well done. Okay, as the judges are getting their scores ready, just to let y'all know, it's scored on a scale of 1 to 10. And so when you're ready, judges, you can just go ahead and hold up your scores. I'll go from this side over. So we got a 7.0, an 8.0, an 8.9, a 6.0, and a 6.0, and an 8.3. Applaud the poet. All right, now the official slam is beginning. I don't know why I just switched microphones on this. Want to come over here? So the top 3 poets who from today are gonna go to the all McDaniel Poetry Slam tomorrow night at 7 p.m. in the library. So if y'all are feeling the energy today, y'all gotta come tomorrow to the library. So first up, I'm gonna pull the name out of the fishbowl and call up the first poet. First up, we got Abilene. Come to the stage. Yeah.
I am not a master of the spoken word. I think myself a damn good writer, years of graphite stains and marker ink and calloused hands crooked with non-existent age, but I never mastered this. It didn't matter, no risk of isolation, alienation from my enunciation, some jabs at my pronunciation, and just occasional frustration. Each break in my speech is not an invitation to jump in and leave me in isolation with my words and with my thoughts and my speech due to some essed up intonation. Can't stutter if you're yelling, can't stop if you're impelling each word into the next to fit a rhythm in your own brain. I make myself invisible, audible and visible, and bright clothes, loud speech, and nobody hears the breath. It's the magic of it all until I'm choking on the word recall. I'll caught in my throat like an invisible wall, intentional attention to my downfall. I stop and start on each new phrase, each broken word, a shard of glass, catching just before they pass my lips. I spit it blood and shards of verbal glass, each drop stopping as it hits my tongue, and I choke on my non-existent words, unable to cough up the noise to fill the gaps. This verse didn't matter anyway. I am not a master of the spoken word. I repeat, and ugh, sorry, you've heard this one before. Stop apologizing. I'm sorry, it's just, I break off when you interrupt, snapping off live branches for kindling. For someone who talks so much, you'd think I'd improve, but practice can't perfect it, but it can direct it into pauses where you interjected each time I failed to speak.
Yes. Wonderful job. Yes. Got the energy right there. All right. Before we get the scores, I just want to give a shout out to our in-house DJ, Only Child, aka Mr. Stoll. Give it up. Hey. All right, judges, y'all ready? Okay, we got a 9.5, a 9.0, we got a 9.8, we got an 8.0, a 7.6, and a 9.5. Well done, well done. Next to the stage is going to be, drum roll please. Dimitri, come to the microphone.
Hello? Hello, my name is Dimitri, and I'm going to be performing Behind the Truth. I still remember my life, back when I was little, small and innocent. I still remember the songs, the ones my mother used to sing to me, tucking me into bed. At night, when I was scared, I used to think that my cat would keep me safe, that I didn't have to scream. I'm still not sure if everything's okay. We hide behind our doors as the world falls into decay. Now I believe that I've grown out of the fright. I don't believe the monsters or the creaking of the night. But as I look around me, I peek my head around the door. I hear the sounds around me. The world's not the same anymore. Now that I'm older, I wonder all the same. Would the past have warned us of the looming change? Now the world feels not like quite itself. The house is creaking empty. The trees still beg for help. They rattle our bars. Is there even use? Their roots still soak with blood. The end is looming and we're the fuse. Even now it feels too long. I doubt if we're alive. Are we a screw in the machine or a match just failing to light? How long have we lived wandering in the dark? How long has the world been falling apart? How long until the monsters take off their mask? How long until all that's left is ash?
Yes, Dimitri. Yes. I forgot to mention this earlier, y'all, but some of y'all already know this, but like, if the poets are up here and you're like feeling a line, you can just be like, or like, ooh, you know, just a little bit of energy, you know, as they're going, the oohs and ahs, so. I was definitely snapping on some of those lines. All right, judges, y'all ready? All right, we got a 7.4, an 8.0, a 9.0, a 7.9, a 6.5, and an 8.3. Applaud the poet. All right, next up we have welcome to the stage, Tilly.
Dear Dad, someday I wish I could go back and tell my younger self to stop being hopeful. Sometimes my friends would ask me, why doesn't your dad ever pick you up? We would walk to our parents' cars in elementary, and I would meet my mom or grandma every day. My friends would always wonder. Well, they understand now. Dear Dad, sometimes I used to talk you up in my head. I would think about why you were never home. Oh, my dad? He's a doctor. He works late and saves people's lives. Where's my dad? He's on an important business trip in California. Where's my dad? Where was my dad when I needed him? Where was my dad when I wanted him?
wanted him to teach me how to play soccer, wanted him to teach me and wanted him to hear me talk about my day. Where was he when I needed help on how to talk to girls or how to impress all the cool guys at school? Sometimes I'll find myself waiting, like a dog at the door, waiting for his owner to come home, but you never did. I want you to know how much it hurt at night, wishing you were here. I hope that one day I'll be able to be proud of not living with your absent ass, who never once cared about your child growing up, feeling alone. And one day I'll be proud to say, I live with my mother and grandma, and they care about me.
That's what I love about poetry. It is the language of the heart, y'all. Thank you, Tilly. All right, the point is the poetry, and then we have some points as well. So we've got an 8.8, a 7.0, a 7.0, a 7.5, a 7.0, and an 8.3. Applaud the poet. All right, before I call up the next poet, I just want to give a round of applause. There are two people up here calculating the scores. We call them the math geniuses. So everyone give it up for Miss Akron and Mr. Mansour. Right up here. All right. Next poet is... Welcome to the stage, Gabe.
Today I'm going to present a poem publicly endorsed by the churchofskiles.org. Within the flowing realm of infinite blue, the red-crested condor spreads its wings to soar to the glistening feast of expired flesh that surely awaits. Sun-kissed crags of bygone times stand in stoic communion, observing over scurrying shadows futile attempts to prevent their inevitable demises. Winding, unfurling tendrils of the indomitable juniper interlock with the ancient mesa flesh, burrowing deep to escape the feverish desert heat. Scaled and slithering, the pearlescent glint of the holy scalp erupts from the orange earth. His grace, the blessed one, has risen from desert entombment. The blinding light of repentance has come. Our wise owl, our compassionate shepherd, our Lord, our Skiles, has risen, followed by the three great apostles. The glint of grain, the acridity of bile, the gracious lizard has arrived. Hide the children and the lean, for his hunger is uncompromisable. Second of the faithful three is the grinding gears of clanking metal. The great automaton whirs to life. There is no soul in such a beast, yet its hunger remains. The dweller of roots dives from broken branches, snarling teeth of unimaginable proportions. This furred hermit stalks the inglorious apostates. For the law of Skiles is just, deliverance in blood, glory in worship. In honor of Skiles and the Holy Three, may the unfaithful face absolute judgment.
Give it up for Gabe! Is Skiles in here to hear that? Loving the creativity. Judges, what do you want to do with that? I'm going to get... throwing it at them. Okay, we've got a 7.7. A 7.2. A 6.4. A 7.8. A 6.6. And an 8.4. Applaud the poet. Yes, yes. Let's all give it up for our timekeeper, Miss Tia, right here. Yay, yay! So, next up, we have the poet, the myth, the legend, Cass. Welcome to the show.
Great, yeah. My poem is titled, How Do You Talk to Your Kids? On your way home from school, don't stop for tea and Skittles. Your neighbors might shoot you. Don't play with toy guns in the park. Your neighbors might shoot you. Don't touch anything when you're pulled over. The cops might shoot you. When you're driving, don't forget to turn your blinker on, because if you don't, you might get pulled over, and you might get arrested, and you might die when you're being put into cuffs. And that officer might pose you as if you're still alive. Tell your 9-year-old daughters not to have sleepovers in the living room. Tell them not to sleep on the couch. The police might bust in and shoot her to death, and say that it was the wrong house and move on like nothing happened. White people, how do you talk to your kids? When they come home and they tell you that they made a friend who's a black kid, how do you talk to them? How do you tell them that at any moment their friend could die? How do you talk to them? I saw a video of a guy saying that cracker was the worst thing to call a white person, sorry. And he said that cracker was what black people called slave owners when they would hit them with whips and break their skin open. He stated that it was the worst thing because no one wants to be called a slave owner. I wonder why. I wonder why we called those slave owners what they were. Everyone always says that it was a long time ago or it happened a long time ago. I know people whose grandparents had to go through segregation. It's not that long ago. You've heard of what we've been through, but you've never felt it. You know a quarter of the story, but not every detail. You've heard of the lives that have been taken, but you didn't know them. You didn't feel what they felt. This isn't a trend. You don't get to hop on and hop off when you feel like it. Justice for George Floyd. Justice for Dante Wright. Justice for Andre Hill. Justice for Breonna Taylor. Justice for Amir Locke. Justice for all of them. Black Lives Matter.
Yes. Okay, judges. Well done, Cass. Okay, here are the scores. We got an 8.9, an 8.5, a 9.0, an 8.0, a 7.8, and a 9.4. Give it up for Cass. Yes. All right, my friends, we are going to celebrate the next poet expressing themselves is going to be, drum roll please. Give it up for Emily.
So I've been writing poetry since I was 9 years old, but I've never performed in front of a crowd, so let's see how this goes. My poem is called Mama Says. Mama says I'm too fat. Mama says I've got curves. Mama says I look good in those size 2 jeans. Mama says, do those feel tight, honey? All about the number. Depends on the brand. Wish Mama could give me a hand. She never taught me what it meant to be thin. Why is this happening? What is this all for? What am I working towards? I don't get it. Her own insecurities projecting onto me. Mama says diet. Mama says count. Mama says think about how much you're putting in your body. All that bread, all those sweets, all bought by you, all we could afford, all adding up.
pound by pound. Speak for yourself, mama. I'm happy with my body. Got birthing hips, heart-crushing tits, life-saving thighs, but I'm not thin enough. No, never enough. Mama says you don't do enough. Mama says you've had enough. Mama says, are you sure you need seconds? She thinks she's helping me. Thinks she's guiding me, or even saving me. Mama, you're killing me. Mama, I can't take this. Mama, I'm fucking dying. Mama says wear something nice. Mama says dress for your size. Mama says compromise.
Yes, Emily, bringing it. All right, here we go. Hey, good job memorizing that poem. I see you. Yeah. All right, we got a 9.7. We got an 8.7. We got a 9.3. We got an 8.9. We got a 9.0. And we got a 9.7. Yes. Okay. Well done. Before we go on, I gotta give some shout outs, you know what I mean? We got a lot of people just holding it down in the place to be. Photography, we got Mr. Harpster and Caleb snapping pictures. Thanks, y'all. We got Topher. Wait, are you timekeeping? Yeah, we got 2 timekeepers. Yeah, give it up for Mr. Moore and Miss Tia. You know what I'm saying? Hold it down. On logistics and support, we have Miss Canoff right here. Yeah. Videographer, TV services, Frank. Yes, Frank. Thank you, Frank. And give it up for our host, Miss Sullivan, holding it down, making it happen. Okay. Let's take a deep breath. And let's welcome our next poet is going to be Zay. Come on up.
Okinawan kids, adults, and elders from ages to 1, 8, 12, 20, 80, and above, all losing their homes, their land, for a U.S. military base scrapped together for the power they so want to consume. Don't they already have enough? You wake, ready to take a walk on a land bountiful with nature, only to realize you can't take 5 steps without being restricted by the people who said we were generally asked to come, when they forced their way in with lies and deceit, forced their way into a place they dubbed convenient to host their machines for their decades of bloody battles, saying that their permanent propositions are the only way, just to make it justified enough so that people might listen and obey. Their insatiable appetites consuming them until there's nothing more to consume than the land hemmed with white sand beaches along marble coastlines. The red soil will spread, and there will be consequences. Or a bay, a place containing hundreds of species of endangered sea life. The dugong, being the last of its kind in the world, survives off the seagrass demolished by the algae growing inside the walls of undersea oil. And while the corals are in a crisis, Washington and Tokyo sit there, pointing fingers at one another in the comfort of their own $1,000 lounge chairs, while the ocean's bane is of no consequence, even if it affects the lives of thousands of Okinawan people. Sanctuaries for nature, metamorphosing into staging grounds for military operations. Rise for Hinoko, they say, protesting on the construction-filled land of their heritage. Rise for Hinoko. Elders sitting for hours on end, unmoving until their demands and prayers are answered in full. Rise for Hinoko. Kayaktivists protesting the walls of oil spread throughout the seemingly endless oceans, protesting the destruction of their home. I had never learned about Pinocchio in my life until about a month ago. I do not know the people of Okinawa, have not lived through what they have endured in the face of a corrupt government they never asked to come. A government they never asked to take the place they call home, once littered with rays of iridescent sun, brisk but gentle wind that flowed across skin as easily as an ocean's waves lapped over the world with grace and a mesmerizing clarity. This pollution-scorned, red soil-spilled confinement prison with the iron bars sticking out of the oceans like a rusted cage their ancestors never hoped would latch itself to the land like a blood-sucking leech to their marbled sandy beaches, draining the life from the very soil, from the very water of a politically flattened globe with greedy oppressors who do nothing but think of the money they bury in the graves of Okinawans so deep that it molds the land into a putrid shade of brown, replacing a long-forgotten iridescent green. Lost, only to be known by memory. I will not sit by and watch as this world is destroyed, as these people suffer. So rise for the people of Okinawa. Rise for their dreams and aspirations. Rise for change. Let us all rise for Hanoko.
Give it up, applaud the poet. Yes. Poetry in full effect. Raise your hand if you learned something during that poem. Hey, that's what's up. Okay, here we go. We got some scores. We have a 9.0. We have a 7.5. We have an 8.0. We have a 7.9. We have a 7.3. And we have an 8.6. Applaud the poet. Yes. Okay. So if you're feeling the energy this morning, you got to come tomorrow night, 7 p.m. in the library. It's going to be the McDaniel Poetry Slam. And there's going to be really cool t-shirts available. You want to show them the t-shirt? They look like this. I think they're what, $10? $10 for these t-shirts, you know? And if you're interested in designing for next year's Poetry Slam or future events, Story Slam, if you're a designer, talk to Miss Sullivan. We need your skills for designing art. Okay. Let's get it. Y'all ready for another poet? Okay. I want y'all to give a warm welcome to Akila. Come on up.
My poem is called Mixed. Dark skin like my dad, light skin like my mom, I'm mixed. I'm empowered, I'm strong, and calm. Mixed. Where do I go? I want both, but I'm too white. No, too black. I'll pick a side. Should I act more like mom? No, dad. Mixed. I'm less. I'm not equal. I'm treated like my dad. We stick together. Mixed. I'm more. I'm privileged. I'm treated like my mom. We stick together too. Mixed. I learned to be myself. I'm black like my dad. Strong and empowered. I'm white like my mom. I feel sorry.
Yes. Thank you. Let's give it up one more time. Just coming up from the heart. From the heart. Before I read the scores, let's just all take a deep breath because we're taking in the experience of all these poets. They're just getting up here, bearing their heart. Let's just take a nice collective breath to just absorb that energy. Yes, and here we go with the scores. We got an 8.2. We got a 7.8. We got a 9.0 though. A 7.5. A 7.7. And another 9.0. I just want to acknowledge how messed up it is that we're scoring poems, you know what I mean? Just because, like, it's so subjective and everyone deserves 10s, but then the competition makes it so we all come together and just, like, feed off the energy. But, you know, it is what it is. So we're going to keep rolling with it because I'm having fun, and raise your hand if you're having fun. Okay, that's what's up. We'll keep going. Next up, let's welcome Christian to the stage.
I love you too, random citizen. Dear anyone who can tell me, where do I start? I think I know where I am, but I don't remember how I got here. So maybe the question is, where do I go? But I could be starting again, just from a different point. And if I am to start again, then should I shoot for the stars? But if I keep going, will I reach the stars? If I'm happy where I am, do I need to keep going? I just want to make people happy. But can they be happy if they stay where they are? Can you sit to enjoy a moment without it moving on without you? Can I help at all? If I do my best and fail, then what does that make me? I'm scared. I'm scared that I don't know where to start or where to go. I'm scared of what I'll lose if I keep going. I'm scared that I can't make anybody happy. I'm scared that I can't help anybody right now. And I'm scared that I'm just not enough. If I do my best and succeed, will anybody even care? It doesn't matter if they care. Can't I just be happy for myself? Be happy where I am, just take a moment. If anybody can tell me, I'd love to know. What do I do?
And applaud the poet. Yes. That's what I love about poetry slams. You know, we get, everyone speaks their truth, so we get like a part comedy show, part therapy session, everything. All right, here we go. We got a 7.7. We got a 7.0, a 7.9, a 9.0, an 8.5, and an 8.7. Applaud the poet. Yes. Oh wait, did I read good? What? Okay, I was making a, I'm like, did I miss one? Okay. All right, y'all, we're gonna keep it rolling with the poetry. Next up, welcome to the stage, Sebastian, come on up.
Calm down. Okay, calm down. Before I start, I want to just say something. Say, I hope you win. Okay.
Everything spins. I spin, you spin, we spin. The whole world is spinning around us. My mama said, stop and smell the roses. But in honesty, I don't want to smell roses. I want to smell sunflowers and irises. I was told I am female. A feminine voice for me, a feminine scent for me. Everything has to be feminine for me. The scent of my shampoo, how I love, what I laugh at, why even how I laugh. I want to feel free. Free from this chain that binds me, this then expecting thing of reality. I must sing to birds with my enchanting song. This song must be like a sonnet. Nothing must go wrong. I'm to let men defend me and feel their warmth, never be my own protector of my worth. However, this fight or flight inside me is telling me to punch, to kick, to attack all of you who denied me. But I must breathe calmly, sway elegantly, like a swan cuts through water on a lake. I don't understand why I can't be the knight instead of the maiden, the one who rides on that white stallion in freedom of this stereotyped maiden. Give me your sword. I will slay that dragon and get that gold. I don't understand why I can't lead. Just because I have a different biography than you? It's so weird to me, because you're supposed to love me, so why must you deceive me? I could pretend like one fake smiles, or I could be that vulnerable rabbit that the lion is there to come and protect. That feeling is intolerable. I am not available for dinner, nor is it possible for me to be understandable with you. How I sit, how I feel, how I look has to be the way society intended for me. But what society is a people. And sometimes, though, it's really not believable. People can change. We have come far, I really do have. But not far enough for me to go from woman to man. Sometimes I feel bad. My mind tells me to go well where the places, times are bad. Be the people that make society glad to protect us who go from woman to man. As a younger person, I am limited from being prohibited to go from woman to man. I could turn towards women for me, but that's just not the angle or the degree. So lastly, I come to you who spits fire and bleeds for she. It's time you bleed for he, please, just for me.
Loving all of the camaraderie over here with the boat. Y'all have each other's backs. Yeah. Okay, I'm looking at scores now. I got a y'all listening. We got an 8.7, an 8.2, a 9.2, a 9.0, an 8.5, and a 9.5. Yes. Next up to the stage, I want y'all to give a warm welcome to Sula.
My poem is called Ode to Track and Field. Warm up. I jog my 2 laps around the middle of the group. I catch my breath. Dynamics and those fucking ladders, arguably sent from hell. Coach says they help to propel. I catch my breath. Now it's time. We all split. I go to the high jump pit, or the track, leg swings and spikes tied. I love you with all my heart. I fly as I depart from the blocks towards the finish line. You rip me apart with your form of strange art, destroying my body as I try to embody those better and faster than me. The ones with technique precise as a surgeon, trying to be myself but the best version. I need to catch my breath. Race day, nerves, in my stomach, the bus driver swerves through long streets to all the meets. I can't catch my breath. I just can't catch my breath. You are ripping my lungs from my chest, but this feeling, I am obsessed.
Yeah, Sula! Where are my track Okay. I see y'all. Yes. Good job. I'm like extra proud of my students. I'm like, yeah. 7.8. We got an 8.0. A 7.0. A 7.0. A 7.2. And a 9.0. Applaud the poet. Next to the stage, I want everyone to give a warm welcome to Rebecca. Come on.
Okay. This poem is about my good friend Hannah. So let's make this short and sweet like she is. Hannah Demuth. The way that she roller skates is like a dog with a Klingon, trying her hardest to get away from herself. Hannah. At Oaks Park for my 15th birthday, the rink is glowing and the sounds of roller skates rolling, and over the sounds a yell, Hannah. Ow, my boob! She's fallen yet again. I laugh. Hannah. Her hair sways in the wind as she falls. It almost makes it graceful. Almost. Hannah. She eats like a frogfish, being able to open her mouth 12 times her size. Hannah. Eats expired pickles on the daily. Hannah. She laughs like she's an old McDaniel had a farm, except she's all the animals, screaming when food is ready. Hannah. She clears her throat like an alligator throwing up. Hannah. She gags at everything she eats like a donkey. Hannah. She itches her nose piercing like a rat scavenging for food. Hannah. Watching her try to put on glasses is like watching a toddler eat for the first time. They can't do anything right. With all this being said, I love you, Hannah, and I hope you have a nice day.
Yes. Is Hannah here? I have to meet Hannah. Oh, hi, Hannah. All right, let's get some points awarded to this amazing poem. We got a 7.0, an 8.8, and Miss Gill's wiping away tears, so that's fine. We have a 7.0, a 7.8, a 7.0, and an 8.7. Applaud the poets. Next to the stage, I want to call up, give a warm welcome to Leah.
You left me broken. You left me shattered. You left me fallen, my body and soul battered. Unable to rise, on the verge of death, by my own hands, you left me alone. Praying every night, hoping you will come back to me. You showed me love without a fight, heard my plea, helped me get up when I fell, brought me happiness every day, until you left me in hell, seeing only gray. You were mine, I was yours, bonded by love, together forever. When we were in disagreement, you helped me see past the wall. Show me acceptance, show me truth. Yet I can't accept this. Reality is too much. When I saw you, I saw colors never before seen. I saw happiness, I saw the truth. I was able to shut out this hellish place we live in. Now I can't. You left me broken, you left me shattered. You left me fallen, my body and soul battered. Unable to rise, on the verge of death, by my own hands, you left me alone. This world is a cruel place, but people don't care, they can't. Everyone is trying to be different, their own person, their own self. In doing so, they end up being just the same as everyone else, creating the new normal by being different. changing the world around us, changing our views as a whole, leaving me unable to see through it, stuck at the wall that somebody climbed over, leaving me alone, unable to rise, unable to make the climb, unable to be happy, always sad, forever alone, who left me in hell.
Yes, applaud the poet. Woo. Takes a lot of courage to get up here. Thank you, thank you. Before I read the scores, so tomorrow night is a McDaniel Poetry Slam, like I was saying, at 7. And then the top 3 winners from that go to what's called Verslandia. And that's an all-Portland Poetry Slam. And that's happening April 28th. And there could be some free tickets if any students are interested. Talk to your English teachers, because we're going to organize going to that event. So, okay, we got a 7.4, a 7.5, a 9.0, a 7.2, a 7.5, and an 8.6. Applaud the poet. 2 more poets left. We're going to hear from Elijah first. Give it up for Elijah.
My poem is called Living in the Shadow. I hate my ancestors. I hate how they sailed down in their weapons of destruction. They sucked the land dry like sponges, stripping the land bare, viciously tearing the resources out of the land. But all of that was too much work for them, apparently. No, they didn't even want to work for their imperialist greed. Instead, they sailed in their prisons to the shores of Africa and snatched villagers from their homes, carting them off in crowded, sickness-ridden ships to work for them as their slaves. The fact that I'm descended from monsters like them makes me so angry. Why do I constantly have to live in their shadow? I hear about these stories and I feel ashamed. Ashamed that they treated humans like animals and how they drove people out of their homes just because they wanted the gold. Because they were bored and wanted to pass the time by expanding their empire, by spreading imperialism. Even worse are the people who did such things in the name of God, as if God approved of the slaughtering of millions of people, the erasure of thousands of cultures, as if God agreed with this white supremacist ideology that so-called savages had to be tamed and civilized because the way they were living their lives wasn't European enough for them. These disgusting colonizers coming across the ocean saying that it is God's will to let them ravage the land, commit genocide, and wipe out entire tribes. And sure, maybe we've moved on from that. Maybe all that stuff is in the past. But that doesn't mean that the shadow has left. It doesn't mean that the blood has washed off my hands. As a white person, I have to carry that weight and try to do better than them. But even so, the damage has been done, and the remnants of the shattered empire are still out there. We also can't pretend that colonialism and imperialism have left. They have evolved, taken different form so that they can hide in the shadows unnoticed. They disguise themselves as corporations or militaries or even powerful political leaders. Imperialism still plagues and infects the world today, spreading like a wildfire and mostly by our own government and military. It takes the shape of military bases no one wants, help in war that nobody asked for, and a global trade empire, a monopoly on all the resources in the world, controlling countries to give them what they want. I hate my ancestors. They started all of this. And even as they try to get out of their shadow, I can't undo the damage.
Applaud the poet! Woo! Yes. Thank you, Elijah. Okay, we're gonna get these points out there. We got an 8.4, an 8.0, a 9.0. All right, y'all. Our final poet of the 9th grade Poetry Slam 2022, first ever in this auditorium, is gonna be Kay. Come on up.
Dear me, I'm not meant for you. The soul that resides in me must have been a mix-up. The way my body is lazy, but my soul has to be perfect. My shoulders slouch with insecurity while my soul walks head high. The way my words never come out right. How the voice in my head doesn't sound like the one coming from my mouth. I dream in the point of view of this girl. She's confident and bold. She walks with power, her name turns heads. But I wake to find she's been misplaced. My body and my mind are pieces from two different puzzles. Two mismatched socks, one stripes, the other spots. The way her fingers are soft and mine give paper cuts. How my feet can't walk in a straight line and she can practically float. I don't understand. How my body and mind share the same memories, same pain, same love, but reflect different beings. How one is soft like a fairy, delicate and light, while the other is clumsy and rough, loud and annoying. Someday I'll have to accept they're both me. My image isn't as perfect as I hoped it would be. I'll have to realize that even that soft and delicate girl is going to fall. She's going to get loud and annoy some people. And that rigid and clumsy girl will have her moments, where she'll shine like a soft fairy. Her fingers will reflect light. Because not everything is as perfect as one glamorized poem.
Okay. Let's get some points for that poem. Here we go. We got a 9.3. We got an 8.2. We got a 7.0. We got a 7.8. A 7.3. And an 8.8. Applaud the poet. Okay. That is all the poets. So we're going to have the math geniuses work their magic to determine our first, second, and third place. Everyone in the audience, hold tight. We're going to announce the top 3 here in a few minutes. I need all the poets who just performed to come up on the stage. We're going to get a photo, and let's give it up for all these poets who had the courage to come up here. Going right, look at the hearts are right here. Did they spit it? Yes, they Okay, y'all with that. Okay. So, first of all, let's give it up for all the poets. Yes, y'all did amazing. Let's give it up for Miss Sullivan who made this event happen. Yes. And I wanted to see if there's any applause for myself for MCing. Was there any? Okay, cool. That's fine. Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, y'all. Everyone here did amazing. Remember this though: the point is not the points. The point is the poetry. Yes. Now I say that. Now it's a competition too. So we got in third place. Everyone, give it up for Sebastian. You get a little gift bag here, my friend. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, take a look at what's in there. Yes. Second place, give it up for Abilene. Yes. Right here, my friend. Here you go. Yes, enjoy. And now, our 9th grade Poetry Slam champion is Emily.